Hey, it worked. All right. So I just finished doing one of these questions. And I hope when I go through here, it ain't blank. Okay? So again, if you want to call this point 1 and point 2, go for it. Okay, with point 1, you obviously get an x1 and a y1, and with point 2, you get an x2 and a y2. Okay? You're developing the equation, so I'm looking for y equals mx plus b. Okay? And so my starting point would be m, right? I know m is the change in the y over the change in the x. Be careful with that. Some of us, as I was walking around, had this flip-flopped around. Okay? Had the x's on top. So just know we got to go, okay, that means it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And start plugging in your values, right? That's why I wrote them on top here. So y2 will be 1, take away 6, that's y1, over x2 is 3, take away 2. We're going to have negative 5 over 1, so just negative 5. Okay, that's equal to m. Now, once you found m, I would make a list. Listen, these questions aren't going to change. Okay, if you see 2 points, you're just finding the slope between them and then plug in a point and solve for b. That's it. Okay, m is going to be negative 5. X, pick a point, doesn't matter. You could pick the smaller 2 numbers, whatever. X is 3, y is 1, b is going to be unknown. Just plug them into your y equals mx plus b and solve for b, and then you're done. Rewrite the equation. All right, so y equals mx plus b. So y is going to equal negative, y is 1, that comes from here. M is negative 5, x is 3, plus b. So 1 is equal to negative 15 plus b. Add 15 to both sides. All right, b is going to equal 16. Okay, so you just rewrite your equation with that stuff. Don't replace x and y with any numbers. You want a generic equation that allows you to solve for anything. So it's going to be y equals negative 5x plus 16. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so again, my job is to try to teach you the most efficient way to handle a broad spectrum of questions. Broad spectrum. Those are 2 of the same word. Okay? So when I look at number 2, for instance, as long as there's no questions with number 1, okay, I think the fastest way to look, like I've got 2 equations there, two lines, right? I think the fastest way to graph number 1 would just to be to grab this and switch it into y equals mx plus b and plot it. I think that's the fastest way to do that one. Okay, which is why I've shown you both methods. It's not that either one of them will work. You could always do one method, but that's when you run out of time, right? You got to pick the most efficient way to do things. So I can add 9 to both sides, and I can take x away from both sides. Okay, and I turn into y equals negative x plus 9. Well, through our work, we know this means m is negative 1 over 1, which means down 1, right 1. And then I have a y-intercept of 0, 9. Okay, and this is the question I was saying. I was 1 box short on your grid. Okay, so to plot this, your y-intercept is your starting value. So go find it. You're just going to plot that point, 0, 9. 0, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, God. 4, 6, 8, 9 would be right here. Okay, so just plot it. It's probably okay. And then you're going to follow the slope. Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. And I genuinely think after you get the hang of this, I don't think the other method's faster. Y equals negative x plus 9. Does anybody have any questions to that? It's a perfect example. That's why I put both these on here. Okay? One's faster than the other. Do I want to do that for the second equation? No way. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's not that bad. Okay, but I put the second one on here and maybe do like x and y intercepts for this one. Is it the end of the world to switch it to y equals mx plus b? No. It's not that bad. Okay, but just to like broaden our like spectrum of ways to do things, I'll do this with x and y intercepts, right? So to find x-intercepts, you can plug in y equals 0. So do that. 3x minus 5 times 0 plus 5 equals 0. 3x plus 5 equals 0. You're solving for x. 3x equal negative 5. Divide both sides by 3. X will equal negative 5 by 3, which is equal to approximately negative 1.667. All right. And so my x-intercept would actually be negative 1.667 and 0. That's one of the points. So you can go plot that. Negative 1.667. Here's 1.5. It's probably almost right, pretty close to 1.5. All right. So you say, okay, 1 right here. Okay, and you can do the same work to solve for the y-intercept. Right, so for y-intercepts, plug x equals 0. Okay, and I'm being a little more thorough because I'm doing like solutions for everybody's benefit, but I think this is pretty fast. Like, you don't have to show all this work. You don't have to write down all this stuff. You can just do it. Okay, if you got the hang of it, just do it. Right? So, plug in x equals 0. Okay, well, 3 times 0 minus 5y is, plus 5 is equal to 0. So you get negative 5y plus 5 is equal to 0. Negative 5y is equal to negative 5. Divide both sides by negative 5. Y equal 1. And so your y-intercept would be 0, 1. So go plot that point right there. How many points do you need to make a line? 2. You're good. Right? So then you can connect those. You should find intersect right there. Okay, so the point of intersection will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4.